interact with settler.
This may look like any other fun, entertaining board game, but this treaty-focused project tells Indigenous stories and reflects on the meaning and impact of the treaties signed between First Nations and the Canadian government.
What does it mean to be a signatory or an adherent of Treaty 6? And what are the roles and responsibilities of the people who are party to the treaty on both sides?
Exploring Wakatuan helps answer these questions. It's a nonprofit initiative started by the Edmonton Shift Lab in 2016 in collaboration with the Yellowhead Indigenous Education Foundation and the Indigenous Knowledge and Wisdom Center.
The players start off as basically representing an Indigenous family or an Indigenous household living in Treaty 6 territory here on the prairies. And so you go through the seasons of the game where you try and procure things like food, clothing, medicine, and then fairly soon into the game, the settlers arrive and all the intended and unintended consequences of that migration occurs.
This is a way in for people to look at policy, legislation right within our own backyard.
Exploring Wakatuan board game receiving global recognition and a grant of $20,000 from the United Nations Alliance of Civilizations through its prestigious International Innovation Hub.
Having the United Nations recognize this, lift this, recognize it, is really integral to the work and to the work that we have to do as a city, a town, a province, as a country.
Exploring Wakatuan was the only Canadian project and one of 10 projects selected from about 1,800 applicants for recognition by the Intercultural Innovation Hub. Jody Calahoo Stonehouse, who is a key collaborator on the initiative, says she hopes that the project will increase awareness on issues like racism.
The fact that this method is in fact a prevention and it's an intervention that's aimed at young people is really hopeful, and that non-Indigenous people have picked up this tool, this method to reduce racism is really hopeful and inspiring.
Having a group that was mixed of Indigenous and non-Indigenous was really helpful. It's a way of bridging the divides between understanding and knowledge that existed before we came up with this game.
Exploring Wakatuan is already available for free online through Tabletopia. The physical version of the board game will be distributed through Palmetto Way Games, an Indigenous-owned game store. In Edmonton, Hiba Kamal-Choufi, City News.